Welcome to our live. Hello, hello, hello. Whether you are joining in on Facebook or whether you're joining in on YouTube or whether you are joining in over on our app, we are streaming this in a number of different places. So we are going to try our best to keep up with comments, but forgive us if we miss your comment. Feel free to repost it. A lot of your comments, I'm hoping, are going to be just reacting to all of the news that we have to share, which is a lot. We have so much news to share that I have a massive document to keep me on track that I'm actually going to open up right now because it's a lot of stuff. Okay, so I'm going to give it a few seconds. I'm going to let some people join because I really don't want anyone to miss what we are talking about today. But we're going to be talking about all of our new units. So if you are joining this and you know somebody else who uses Gather Round who would be excited about being on and hearing all of these new details, feel free to share this video. We're going to be talking about all of our new units that we are vision casting, brainstorming, and envisioning for the future. Now, these are not promises. These are not set in stone. I don't have a timeline for these, but these are the ones that we have based on your guys' feedback. We have decided that we're most likely going to go forward with. And so that's going to be exciting. Kind of gives you an idea of where we're going. Also, for those of you who didn't know, we are redoing our Legacy Pass sale this March. And so by hearing all of the new units that we are thinking about and planning for the future, it also will give you an idea of the ever increasing value of the Legacy Pass. So that's going to hopefully give you the confidence that you need when you are looking at and considering that. Maybe you need to share this with your spouse so they can hear all of the things that you would be getting as part of the Legacy Pass. So what you need to do is, number one, share this video if you know somebody who uses Gather Round and would be interested. Number two, just respond. I was going to do, like, my favorite is like either give an emoji response or like how you feel, especially when we do these new unit announcements. I wish we could do GIFs and all of that. I don't know, maybe we can, depending on the platform, but let us know what you think about each of these units as we say them so we can kind of gauge your interest and excitement level. As I said, these aren't like 100%, okay? But they're like, I would say 70, 80%. These are, let's just say I've made space for these on my shelf. Okay. So I actually have locations for these. It has been printed. So I am envisioning these with all faith and assurance. Okay. I think we're ready. I think we are ready. So over on Facebook and YouTube, I'm going to let you guys know kind of the section we're doing with a ticker at the bottom. Can't do that over on the app, but we're going to start off with our new units that we are thinking about. So here we go. Do you want to, like, I'll do one and you do one, or I do a batch and you do a batch? How do you want to do this?
Sure.
Or do you want to just sip your tea and let me do it?
No.
Okay. Why don't you start?
I want to participate.
You start.
Number
one.
What is the bracket one?
Don't ignore the brackets. Ignore that. Okay. Ignore the brackets. So that's just how much space we need on our shelf.
You do the first one.
Okay, our first one is going to be 9/11. I've covered this, I believe, in our US History 6. We went into it with a couple of lessons, but there's so much we could do with 9/11. And we've gotten this request a lot. We're hoping to do just a short, almost like our 50 state series, mini unit style, that it could be done in the week leading up to it. I think there's a lot of people that want to give a little bit more intentionality to this day, and there's not a lot of resources to do that. So that is our first unit that we are looking at, is 9/11. Do you want to do the non-crossed out ones?
The non-crossed out.
Yeah.
Ancient Egypt.
You guys have asked for
I like
more ancient civilizations. You've asked for that to be broken up or to go more in depth into, or to be able to choose. So not only are we doing ancient Egypt, but do you want to just list all three?
Yeah, ancient Egypt, ancient Greece, ancient Rome.
Yes. So these are going to be a little different. They're not going to be full units. These are actually going to be mini units, but we're breaking it up and segmenting it. And we do have some other history ones that we're going to be announcing as well. Don't forget, you guys, we are wanting to see your comments. So let us know as you're watching this how you feel about each of these. Like, I'm expecting to see like a yay, a nay, I don't really know about that one, but hopefully you guys are excited.
Yes, definitely. Because that, I mean, if we get so much of a response, we're like, okay, well, we'll bump that one up, and
yeah, this may impact our schedule of when we release them based on your guys's interest. Okay, so another one, and this one I'm super excited about. Okay, hear me out. Beekeeping. So my idea for this is to teach beekeeping in a very like step-by-step way where we're actually making our own.
I'm actually doing it. I was looking at a hardware store the other day and they had beekeeping. I'm like, I'm doing it.
You've always wanted to do
I've
it.
always wanted to do
Make
it.
your own hive. Like, here's how to do all of the different steps.
Pollen, wax, I want it all.
What kind of flowers you maybe want to plant nearby.
I don't want to get stung though, but I heard it could be beneficial for things. Not too many stings, of course, but anyway, I beekeeping.
Beekeeping is going to be fun. And it's going to be, like I said, very, very, again, not full unit. I think it will have more lessons, but a lot more focused just on that mini unit style where it's very hands-on. It's going to be teaching and then let's go do it.
Very hands-on because there'll be some actual footage.
Are we doing footage? Are we building ours first and then
I'm doing it. Like I might
start
buying some stuff. It'll be a business write-off because it's research.
Wow.
I don't like it.
Thank you for saying that on a live. All right, next up we have number 7.
British literature.
Okay, some of you with younger kids are like, what? But those of you who have high schoolers, I know, I gotcha. British Lit, we are going to go into a whole bunch of different stuff. It's going to be, again, mini unit style in that we're not doing a full unit for all ages. This is actually going to be a like a teaching and 1 level. So similar to how I was kind of laying out my idea to our science fiction unit. So it's going to be like 1 booklet that goes along with it, likely for like high school or teens in general, but this would be to go towards a British Lit credit. So super excited. All right, next up we have Christmas hymns. You guys have asked for another Christmas unit, another one, I know. But we had that hymn study and I think it was fun.
A free one and it was very popular. So I think we want to expand on that.
Yeah. So we'll do some more Christmas hymns, have kind of a music focus, and we're hoping to get that one out. Another one is, I haven't decided on the title, but computer skills. And we want to go into the basics, but we're not, you guys, it's not going to be a full robotics and coding, but it will have elements of all of that. We want to go into the basics of those. We also want to go into digital citizenship. We want to go into online safety, typing, I mean, all of the things. So computer skills is one that I think has been highly requested, and we're going to do our best to put that on the schedule. Okay. All right. Next up, we have conflict I'll let you do 13. Conflict resolution. So conflict resolution, my thought with this is to have a almost like growing up with God, have a unit that is designed to, maybe there's like a little bit of a devotional in like the teacher's guide or study guide, but then having individual ones where as a family, you could say, hey, we're struggling in this area with communication and conflict resolution. And so you could intentionally work on that through a unit study / devotional. So I'm excited about that one. Another one that I'm super excited about is controversies and debates. And how much space did I leave for that? Only 4 bins? That means, guys, it's going to be mini unit style, but I'm really excited about this. I want to go into all sorts of different controversies, and our goal will be to have an emphasis on debating and public speech. So we would have, there would be presenting both sides of a controversy or a debate, and then there would be basically walking students through preparing, and then each one choose a side and have to debate that side. So this is an amazing one to do with a co-op if you're wanting to like teach debating.
Do a mock trial or
yeah. Okay, next up. 13.
Cooking. Yes. Cooking is a big one. So I mean, that's going to be a big one because we have like units that have recipes, but I think just going back to the basics of cutting or what are your plans with it?
Well, you're the one who had the idea of the
I did have
menu.
Yeah, like knife skills, and I mean that's going to be some disclosures on that one, but it's just simple baking, simple. I think everyone should know certain things about about cooking. And it's sort of like it'll come under like life skills too. Everybody should know how to cook.
Jonathan's idea that he's forgetting about is he said, what if we taught them, actually, okay, so there's the big picture of cooking, right? Like knife skills and like kitchen and food safety and all of those different things. But then he thought, if we walked them through, here's a number of different breakfast recipes, and we're going to walk through that, and some lunch recipes and some dinner recipes, then we could create a menu on our poster paper, which is done through a synthetic paper. So it doesn't fold. It's very, I don't know, springy. But we would be able to create a menu you could get to go alongside it, where your kids could be like, here's a menu. What do you want to order for date night? I'm going to cook for you. And they've already learned how to make everything on that menu.
Oh, yeah.
So we kind of want to integrate it in a way that is super practical. I know there's so many recipes we could do, but we really want to give some strong, basic, foundational recipes that they could use to carry them through, even to their own families when they're cooking for their own families. We're going to give you a soup for a dinner. We're going to give you, some sort of a strong meat base, maybe a casserole, and then some options for lunch. And here's, some oatmeal for breakfast, and like some basic things that they would actually be able to use.
It's so needed. I mean, yeah, I just remember like some of my roommates in college, they didn't know how to cook an egg. I mean, how do you, cooking is essential.
Yes. All right, so we're excited about that one. That's 8 bins, which means it is a full unit, ladies and gentlemen. Another one is economics. This is another one that I'm thinking of just doing like a high school one. So there would be a teacher's guide and one book that would be for teens/high school to go alongside it. Ephesians. So we're going to be doing some more in our Bible studies. We want to continue what we've started. And so we're hoping to bring out some more of those. And then they're all mixed in here, but I had an idea, and this was, again, based on some of your guys' feedback, of doing a breaking writing up into separate units. So we already have one for paragraph writing, for example. We have our different writing tracks. So my thought was if I broke up expository writing and creative writing, and I don't even know what else I have in here. I have like 4 different writing units, but essentially, specifically writing units, writing poetry, that you would be able to pull out and focus on one specific area. And that brings us to another massive announcement. And that is that we are looking at doing, I have to decide on the name. I currently had decided on standalone seat work, but somebody had the idea of like our modular math doing modular grammar. I love that, but the problem is it's not just grammar. So our seat work covers grammar, it covers spelling, it covers handwriting, it covers vocabulary. It's basically a daily short little workbook that they would do 2 pages a day, and it's done in like 5-10 minutes, but intentionally and strategically building upon skills at an age-appropriate level. We started offering our seat work in year 3 and year 4. We do not have it for year 1 and year 2. So originally I was thinking of going back and redoing it for all the ones we didn't have. And now I've thought, what if we did a standalone where you could add it to whatever you want? We would title these by their grammar concept. So for example, we would have one on, I probably do have it in here actually. No, I haven't. We're still working on it. But let's say we had one on nouns and or verbs and adjectives. I don't know, nouns and like whatever, however we decided to do it. But let's say we had one on nouns and adjectives where we're really focusing on that, or we have ones on sentence. So they're going to learn a very specific thing that they're going to be building on again at all those different levels. So I don't think I'm going to do this in cursive and manuscript. I think I'm just going to do it in manuscript. But I do think that something like this would allow you to choose what you need based on your kids and where they're at, and also do it alongside any of our units. So there's so many. We may have to go faster.
Yeah, you have to go. Don't get bogged down.
Okay. All right, do you want to read these 3 and then I'll read these 3?
Which one were we
17.
at? 17. Yeah, I had the idea of engineering, because engineering, it's so important. There's electrical engineering, there's mechanical engineering, it is the future. I love working with my hands, but also the technical side. I think there's so much to talk about with engineering. I mean, this Athens, Georgia, a lot of boys go into engineering, and and girls. It's just a huge topic. Are we doing a main unit with that or a mini unit?
I think it's a main unit, yeah.
So I think it has some potential to
And
attract a
can
lot
be
of
super
entrants.
hands-on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, engineering.
Gardening is another one. Galatians is another one. Gardening would be similar to beekeeping, where it's super hands-on and you're actually building a garden while you're learning about it. The Gospels, I want to do actually all of the Gospels in one, and where it's a little bit of a comparative study and learning how they actually all connect together, what's similar. Great Expectations and Novel Study. This is going to be just one book, and this again is going to be for high schoolers, but we want to give them a little bit more meaty stuff to work with. So that's one that could also go along with British Lit. Then we are going to look at doing one on the Holocaust, and this one we're not going to do it in a full unit, in that's not going to be appropriate probably for younger kids. So again, it would probably be more of a teen unit for upper teen, depending on how you feel they're ready for it, but we do want to do a unit on that. Home medicine I've mentioned before, and that is one that is coming soon. So that's definitely coming this year. I would say that would be coming in the next quarter or two. Home medicine is going to be specifically related to typical ailments and things we face at home, not emergency situations. And we're going to be looking at both natural remedies for that as well as over-the-counter remedies for that, and when to use both, what is appropriate, the pros and cons. All of those things. So it's going to be a very grounding and practical unit that I think is going to give our kids some real, just no fear, but also let's try these natural things before we're defaulting to that. Just a really healthy understanding of medicine and how it works. All right, I did a whole bunch.
21?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, so some of you said baking. We are looking at doing homestead kitchen. So homestead kitchen, we want to do more than just baking. We actually want to make this a lot more in depth. So we'll have sourdough. I was even thinking of going into, what is the...
Just like pickling.
Yes.
And fermentation. So that's sourdough, but there's lots of fermentation.
Composting, like everything related, making your own butter. There's just so much that we could do with it. So we thought homestead kitchen rather than just baking. I know it's not going to necessarily go into as many recipes, but a little bit more focused on some of those things that I think people are ultimately looking for. So let us know what you think on that, because we're looking at doing a whole unit for that. So it would be a full unit. Now, this one I'm super interested in your thoughts on. I'm looking at doing, this was one of your recommendations, how to homeschool. So how to homeschool would be our very first adult unit study. It would have just one book, kind of a workbook that you would like read and then be able to have a place for you to reflect, take notes, or how that may apply to you, but actually taking it back and simplifying it. And I have a dream, you guys, of maybe doing events. Like I could see it. I could picture it. I was imagining it the other day where it's like fun, where we like show, okay, here's all the different homeschool styles and like, which one are you? Can you imagine a marriage retreat where you get to go and like learn about it in a fun, no pressure way, get your feet in and meet other parents. And I don't know, I just feel like that would be really fun. I would love to just travel and help people learn how to homeschool. So anyway, okay. We are, let's see, leadership and public speaking. Mock trial. So that's why I was putting my finger on it. Mock trial. I want to create a case, almost like an escape room, and everyone will have a different role and we'll actually create the mock trial. And then you would be able to do the mock trial. So I feel like, again, super hands-on. They're going to be learning about the justice system, but in a very applicable way. And that works well for people that maybe can't get out and do a mock trial. We're going to do it together. So it's going to be fun. Motivating missionaries. I'm hoping to do a missionary study. Narrative writing, which goes into those ones that I was talking about before. Persuasive writing. Proverbs study. We are going to do, for those of you who suggested it, we're hoping to revamp a little bit our Ready to Read series. We want to combine our A and B books back into one book. So that's going to mean some restructuring. We might have to take some cutouts out, put them on our resource page. But also I want to revamp some of the studies, or just make it a little bit more engaging. And then we're going to add a book 5. So book 5 is, I'm not sure if I'm even going to do teaching or maybe just workbook, haven't decided, but it will be a good transition for those of you that are like, I feel like they're done that, but they're not quite ready for early reader. So there's going to be a book 5 of Ready to Read. And that one I'm hoping to do this year as well. Then I want to do a series called RX. I want to do a prescription, and I want to have it look like a script that's like RX. And I want to be like an RX4 that you can use in your family: forgiveness, gratitude, hope, orderliness, patience, peace, respect, self-control, selflessness. And the idea is, if you're having a problem with entitlement, complaining, sadness, depression, maybe your home just feels chaotic, maybe everyone is irritated and short with each other, maybe you're struggling with fear and anxiety, maybe you have explosive anger issues or selfishness issues, or there's a lack of forgiveness or love in your home, you could get one of these and do it very intentionally and be like, okay, as a family, this is what we're going to work on this month. And so I think it's a unique take on it. We are doing, and this is coming out soon, winter games, and that's going to be kind of a guide to be able to go along with, obviously the Olympics are coming up, so having more of an understanding of the winter games and some of the different activities in that. So that is coming soon. And we are currently talking with publishing companies to see if we can we're looking into some options for a lot more novel studies. So I'm not going to announce all of them right now, but we are looking into our options. I think the only other ones I missed is Victorian era. So that would take us into another, you guys were talking about, we've got the Middle Ages. So this would be one that would kind of be able to go after that. And that would fit really well also with our Charles Dickens. Veterinary science, that's a really big one. That would be a full unit, and that would go into obviously like all sorts of different animals, and it will include horses. We've got weather and natural disasters. That's coming very soon. World religions is another one that I'm going to be prioritizing because I think that it is important, and I think those are most of them. I think that's most of them.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. That is so many. That's obviously way more than we could ever produce in a year, especially because we are still working on our modular math series and our 50 state series. And those are pretty much going to take us the next year for sure, if not year and a half for some of them. I will say we are also, for any Canadians, give me a hands up if you're in Canada. We're going to be completing with the 50 states. We're adding on to it all of the Canadian provinces and territories. And I know it's a long time to say we're going to do that at the end. So we're actually going to bump up British Columbia. That is going to be coming sometime in the next quarter. So that's something to look forward to as well. And we are definitely going to be working on that so that you guys have something to look forward to too. So there's a lot of new things coming. I don't know exactly when. I don't know exactly even what order. We're going to just take it day by day. And again, your guys' feedbacks and comments as we go through these is going to help us too, to see what are people more excited about, what is going to be better to come sooner. So we definitely appreciate all of your feedback and comments. And a lot of that has gone into these decisions. Okay, so let me go back into here. Let's see. Let's do this one. So next up, we've got some event announcements that we are going to be talking about. So there's a number of different events we're looking at. We are not looking at doing an in-person local in Athens gathered in his name this year. We are instead looking at doing that. Perhaps I have tentatively planned, I need to make the decision pretty soon, a gathered in his name 2027 in May. I'm looking at May 14th to 15th, if anyone wants to check their calendars. And we're looking at maybe doing this in Orlando, Florida. And the idea behind this is that I feel like, there's not much to see in Athens. And I feel like there's something,
say that.
There's something about doing lots of us want to do a family vacation and spend time together. And so maybe this will be having it a little bit more destination might be a way of facilitating that, allowing you to kind of combine your family vacation with some encouragement and a family ministry event. And we are hoping, we've had some different ideas for that. Do you want to share some of the ideas here? They're in parentheses.
You can share that.
Okay.
There's so much. I need my glasses.
A couple of the different things that we are debating is, and I think I mentioned this, we would love to do our very first grad ceremony. Yeah.
Because it's like I realized, because we had definitely Caleb had graduated, and it's just that there's that pomp and there's that recognition and that, so it's just I know. I think it would be special if we had like a photographer and some backgrounds, and then have an opportunity that we can give kids who have graduated and just give them that moment.
Yeah. So what we're hoping to do is if we had a photographer, then we would, be able to offer perhaps just school photos, because that's another thing we don't do often as homeschoolers. So everyone could come get their school photo, our grads, and this would be, I would say, anyone who's graduated in the last 3 years would gather around, kind of a thing. It doesn't have to be they've already graduated or just that year they graduated. We'll rent gowns. They could put their gowns on, they could take pictures, and then we would like to do a grad ceremony. So we're really excited about it. We're really praying about it. This would just be 2 days. It would be an evening and a morning and an evening. As far as 3 sessions, I'm hoping to do some breakout sessions in the afternoon. So really facilitating some connection and some communication. So I don't know. Let us know what you think about it.
Let us know.
Sooner rather than
Orlando is
later.
not your thing, but I mean, it's just there's so much to do also in Orlando. There is also an adequate facility that we were looking at too, that is reasonable.
Yeah, the hotel we're looking at is $149 a night is their group rate, which is reasonable.
It's reasonable. It's close to, if you want to go to, I don't know, SeaWorld.
It's attached to a mall, and it has a Chick-fil-A in the lobby, guys. Yeah. So again, we can do food cheaper. I feel like it may be a feasible option. Obviously, travel is the big part that plays into that. But
there's places to camp.
Yes, places to camp, definitely places to camp. And we definitely you guys would want to book all that stuff well in advance.
Yeah, we would like well in advance. That's why we're kind of announcing it. I know it seems like, oh, it's not even, but there's sufficient time. I think it'll be, but it's a little bit of a smaller facility, so it's not like, we have limited space. So that's one of the things that we don't want too big, but we also don't, but in a way, the more that we plan ahead, more people that are committed, that we have an idea of the appropriateness of the venue.
Yeah. So May 14th to 15th, let us know what you think about that. 2027, you guys, we're looking at doing an in-person gathering.
2027 this year, not in 2 months.
Some sale dates. So obviously, that we are doing the Legacy Pass again. We are opening that up for 2 days only, March 17th to 18th. So if all of these new units sound exciting to you and you see the value in getting them all digital, just coming right into your inbox, then you're going to want to snag the Legacy Pass. And so that is happening March 17th to 18th. And then our back to school sale this year, we've nailed down some dates, is going to be May 5th to 7th. We're doing it a little bit earlier this year. We're going to see if that gives a little bit more time for planning, and hopefully gives us more time to make sure that we can get everything out to everyone in time. Also, we are debating doing, and this is just debating. Again, we're just putting feelers out there, but possibly doing a tour in 2026. So because we're not doing it in person, maybe in October, packing up our RV and our kids,
warming up the bus,
coming to you guys. So what we would need for this to be possible is we would need you guys to be talking to your pastors, your churches, your local facilities. We would need to have a gathering place. And if you have a gathering place and there's some people that use Gather Round and that we could be a blessing, we could even, if you guys have come to any of our Gathered in His Name, we don't even really talk about homeschooling. We can, but we can also just do a family ministry encouragement. We could bring our stuff. We could do worship, and just be able to come to you and see some different places, especially on the West. We would love to be able to go to like Washington, Oregon, California. We want to maybe see the Grand Canyon on our way. So we're looking at maybe October 2026. But again, that would depend on, we would need to have a tour of people who had locations and were like, come to us.
The purpose of it is to create community. We've done this before. We landed in Athens, Georgia, but we met incredible people along the way. We stopped at their homes and visited with them, and then we had some small communities, and it was just good to see people. We don't do a whole lot of the conferences. I mean, we still do, but our schedule is pretty busy. But it's a way of us meeting people and enjoying seeing other people's families. And so we can just organize something it doesn't have to be like this big, huge thing. It's just hey, you know what? There's a few families that love you to come over and stop by and just share and maybe do some worship and thank God for what He's done and what He's going to do. So that's the type of thing that we're looking for. Just a down to earth, meet people, those who have followed us and have you just gather around for a while, and there's some people who haven't even, and they just wanted us just to see us and to fellowship, and I think that's what we really wanted to do. Not some big huge fancy thing, just a simple, hey, let's gather together a few families, and and just to get to know people and facilitate community.
Yeah. And to be an encouragement and
Yeah.
yeah, just pour out. So our family loves to do that, and we love to travel, and it's been a while and they're missing it. So if that's of interest, what I'll do is I will put together a form where you could fill it out and you could give us details. I would recommend as next steps for you, if you're like, oh my gosh, I want, we would love to have your family. Then I would say, like I said, talk, see if you can find a location. Is your pastor open to letting us, have a place in the church where we could just kind of show up? We need a location.
Yeah.
We need to be able to come. I don't think I can coordinate all of that. It's really difficult to rent out churches, especially if you don't have that connection. So you guys have those connections.
Again, it's all tentative. We're just kicking the tires about this, but yeah, let us know.
Yeah. Awesome. The only other thing is we are hoping to create our own meeting place. So while you may be disappointed that we're not doing a Gathered in His Name this year, we are hoping, and again, this is going to be everything that you guys are pouring in, Legacy Pass and our sales and all of that, that becomes seed money that we can invest into the future of Gather Round. So that means we can hire more people so that we can have a even faster production schedule. It means that hopefully we can renovate our building that we have and create a coffee shop. Our daughter really wants to do a dance studio. We're talking about maybe a pottery studio, a coffee shop, a place where you could come, maybe join a live class, be able to just have this gathering place, maybe do a tour of our warehouse, see your books getting printed. It would just be such a cool thing to be able to have you guys on site as a bit of a destination, maybe on your way through to Orlando or something like that. So
come meet our staff,
yeah,
and meet us. And that way it's it's a special place, but we definitely need some work right now. It's just it's pretty bare bones, but we thank the Lord that the building is ours, and we're excited to what we can turn it into.
Yeah. All right, we're doing really good, guys. Okay, I'm going to switch gears and we're going to talk about the Online Academy. Hands up and let us know if you are currently a member of our Online Academy, if you know what the Online Academy is. For those of you who maybe don't know what it is, maybe you're new to this, our Online Academy is something new that we've done this year. There's a lot of people, we know that in-person is better. We know that in-person is ideal, but in-person is logistically not possible for a lot of people. There's a lot of people that live in remote areas. There's not a lot of people that maybe share their values or even do the same kind of curriculum. And dropping our kids off at co-ops or even getting involved in co-ops that are on top of our curriculum becomes even more that we have to do. We've got our own schoolwork that we're doing, plus we've got homework for the co-op that we're doing, and it just adds onto our shoulders. So our dream with the Online Academy was to create a space that was online that gave some support in that we teach the teacher's guide lessons, but you're still homeschooling your kids. That is helping you in your homeschool day, not heaping something more onto it, and is providing community, is helping us be more consistent, helping us be more motivated. And some of the people that are on here right now that are in the Online Academy, you can probably attest to the fact that I think for most of us, it has been very successful in just even keeping us on track. Many of us are completing units for the first time. It's like, oh, I've done so much school this year. I would love to see the Online Academy grow. And in order to do that, that's one of the positions that we're hiring is teachers. We need a lot of teachers for the vision of where I want to take it. Whether or not my vision is realistic for this year, we'll see. But I do have a lot of plans and ideas of things I want to do for this. I have some of the units I'm thinking about for next year that I'm going to announce right now. I also will tell you that for sure we want to do Ready to Read for this year. The extra stuff I want to do, I'd love to do math. I would love to do letters and numbers. I would love to even have multiple units going at once. We need a whole lot more people for, and I'm not sure that's realistic for this year. But we're going to put it out there, say we need teachers, trust the Lord to provide, and I'm going to let you know some of our dreams for the Online Academy. So we're looking at starting in August this year instead of September so that we can fit in more units and keep up with a little bit more of the school schedule. And we try to have Sabbath rest, a week off after every unit. This coming year, instead of doing a subscription base, we will do it where you can pay per unit. And so it might be a little bit more because all of our units are 5 weeks. And so currently when you pay by month, you're actually doing 2 months to get 1 unit. But I think you guys all recognize that with the rest and everything else, I think this has been a common factor. So we are looking at changing that. We're looking at doing weather and natural disasters, careers and trades, which is a fantastic one for a co-op. We can have all sorts of guest speakers, doing psychology, doing a, a Christmas unit. I haven't decided if it will be the new Christmas one or I might do Christmas around the world. And then our winter break. And then I want to do mock trial together. I want to do dinosaurs and I want to do homestead kitchen and US government. So it's going to be a mixture of some of our older ones and some of our newer ones. I even had an idea in one of our Sabbath weeks of possibly doing like professional development. You know, we've got Pro D days at school where the teachers are coming together. I would love to have something that's for you as parents, where all of the parents of our online academy can come and have like webinars and meet and be able to kind of, I don't know, just discuss some of the things that we face and encourage one another. And so I have some ideas for that as well. Ready to Read one would also have to start August 3rd. And it may have a slightly different schedule because it is a complete 36-week program. So I will have a winter break around the same time. It will have spring break around the same time. But other than that, it's not going to have the same Sabbath rest as the rest of them. Other ideas I have, I would love to do summer school. I don't know. I was thinking grammar school or life skills or family summer camp or pets or maybe a 1-week creative writing workshop. I don't know. Not all of those, one of those. But that brings us to, we need people. We need people. It cannot all be me, you guys. It can't. There's not enough of me.
Try and do everything.
I try. I fail.
But we do need people.
To vision cast all of these, and some of these I feel like I need to write. So I would say definitely if you're interested in a teaching position, if you can watch what I do and how I do it, we're really looking for somebody who can take bullet point notes, you know, talk, expound, not just be reading it, engaging, not teaching too little kid. It's a difficult thing. It's actually really difficult with the range of students that we have. And so it's not an easy position to fill, and I need a whole lot of them, especially if we were to ever look at doing math. So pray about it. We do need a sample submitted with an application. So that's an important point to note, is that I have to see a sample of you teaching an actual gather round unit, which we have free samples of. There's more information on our hiring page on our website.
Yes, we are hiring.
We are hiring. We are also hiring a project manager / executive assistant for me. But that, I really feel like that has to be a local position, which I know pretty much, you know, means that it doesn't work for almost every one of you, unless the Lord is calling you here. I don't know, just saying. But that is going to be probably a full-time position or very close to it, especially carrying both of those loads. So I know that that also is really difficult. So if nothing else, we would really appreciate your prayers in this area, because I am currently project managing all of these projects and automations and setting things up and, you know, even planning all of these trips and events. And it's a lot. It is a lot. And so we'd really appreciate your guys' prayers that God will help us grow this year so that we have the capacity to do all of the dreams and visions that he lays on our heart.
Comment about attending. If you want Rebecca to speak at a local convention, please just write to that organization and request or get as many people they can, because that's kind of how it runs. It's how many, it's the demand, and because if there's a demand, then they'll reach out to Rebecca, but if there's no requests, then it's not really based on us, it's based on the organization and the demand. So yeah, I'm just kind of addressing. So if you wonder, like, oh, come back. Well, you know, sometimes we would love to come back, but we didn't really get a request, and sometimes they're on kind of a rotation. So in a way, the more demand, you know, if you write to them and say, hey, you know what, I really think I would like to see Rebecca come back, it's not really based more on us. It's based on the organization.
And we are prioritizing Keynote at this point rather than doing, 6 to 8 different sessions. It's if we're going to pack up all of our kids and all of our books and, make the trip. And a lot of times, I mean, the honorarium doesn't even begin to cover the cost of a trip like that.
Yeah,
so
it is a sacrificial thing. I mean, sometimes we do it out of the obedience of the Holy Spirit. We just feel like we really want to serve in that community. I think last year or 2 years ago, was like, we really want to minister to Canada. And then, but anyway, it requires sort of, if you feel that, our community could really be blessed, with speakers such as like Rebecca, and then just make your request known to God, pray about it, and then, and do what you can so that, hey, there's some people that really would like us to there. So
yeah,
anyway, be encouraged.
Yeah, they base it off of requests, and most of them just have a place where you can request right on their website. Cool. Okay. And I'm sure that there's probably some that won't request because they don't like what I talk about or whatever, but it's okay. It'll be fine. That's why we're going to do a tour, guys, and we're going to do our own Gathered in His Name event, because we know that we have a heart to minister and speak to families. We have a heart to minister and speak to you guys as homeschool parents who are on the front lines, also to your kids. Everything that I do, every session that I speak, even, the online academy, I have a passion for speaking to the next generation and to inspiring the next generation to rise up into the call that God has, because we are raising, I believe we're entering end times here. And I think that it's important that we are really investing in the next generation. So we want to support you for that. I can tell you that if we did math and ready to read, or either one of those, ready to read for sure, is going to be at 1 p.m. for the academy, and the academy would be at 10. So I know that that is a consideration factor, but just as you're thinking about next year, the idea would be at 10 a.m. If you have multiple ranges of kids, you would be able to join us for our regular units. And then 1 p.m. If you have a younger student, they would be able to hop on and have their one-on-one after lunch. As far as ready to read. So that's kind of what we're envisioning. If we did math, we would do the same thing. So your kids could do that and do their student pages and have lunch and then come back online for math at that time as well. That is most of what we had to talk about. I have just a few other little things I want to make sure you guys know, that Canada and even other international companies, I'm tired, can order from our US website in print. That is something that's been available before. We usually only did print in the United States, but we were able to find a way of basically third-party kind of support system through our shop that allows us to do this. And so we are open to Canada for sending you guys print, as well as to other countries. And it will show you all of the duties and taxes, and so that you are able to make an eyes wide open decision as to the cost related to that. Yeah, I think that's all I have.
That's a whole lot of...
That's a download, you guys.
That is like 43 minutes.
I will say, there's always a hesitation of like, man, if we share all this stuff, it's like someone's going to copy us, because
how dare you?
There's part of this thing of like hold things close, and then we just like do the new things, and it's just being released.
When are they doing their sale?
It happens.
Then I'm doing my sale too.
Every time we do an announcement, we find out things. But the point is that we are going to trust the Lord. We're going to trust the Lord with that, and we just give it to Him, and we are going to just continuously, I regularly have to put blinders on, not look to the left or the right, and just keep being faithful to do what the Lord has planted on our hearts. And we wanted you guys to be aware of all of these things, because we are always dreaming, always thinking, always brainstorming. We're not just doing the things you see. There's so much happening behind the scenes. So now you guys have had a little peek behind the curtain, and I hope that it also gives you a little bit of just confidence, even looking at, for example, the Legacy Pass, or even just what we're doing as a company, and whether you want to move over to us as a curriculum, knowing all of the things that we're in active development for. So, yeah. All right. Well, any other last minute questions? This is your moment. I did see somebody say, could we do a little bit more about the Academy? I will say this, for our back to school sale this year that we're doing in May of 2026, I'm not going to do an online convention. I'm doing webinars. So these are going to be live, and they're actually all going to be, for the very first time, product related. So a lot of our stuff that's online is outdated. You know, we talk about things that don't even really exist anymore. There's been a lot of change in our company. So we're going to be doing webinars that you would be able to join in on that are going to be specific to what is ready to read, how to place your kids, what is Gather Round, what is the online academy. And so that's going to be, just so you guys know that that's coming, there's going to be a whole bunch of different webinars that you can choose to participate in. And then those will be something that we'd be able to offer on a monthly basis. So you could send your friends the link and they could sign up for the webinar rather than you having to try to explain this whole model of learning, because this really is an entirely different model of education, and it is difficult to explain and sometimes exhausting. I don't know if anyone feels that way. I want to help you out. So we're going to do webinars, and those will be something that then would be able to continue. But I do have, I believe there's a sample of the online academy available as well. I'm not sure if it's on the site. If it isn't, we'll get it on the site, but you can also always email in and ask us. But I'm working on creating more so you can actually just see for yourself. I mean, we can tell you about it. Yes, it is the teacher's guide, but it is interactive and engaging and motivational. We go over the student pages. There's an entire online private community in our app where students are interacting with each other, sharing their pages. There's challenges to get them motivated to do their school. So it is the teacher's guide, but it's also more than that, designed to support you in your homeschool, not to necessarily take away the teaching role, if that makes sense. So awesome. Will I have a post that includes all the new units we've mentioned? Yes, we are working on that as well so that you guys can see, because I know that's a lot of information to track. So we will update our event page. We will also update our a page that will be available on our site so that you guys can see all of that as well. We are looking at redoing our catalog, and that will give you an idea of what we're doing, at least for this year. We just need to nail down exactly what that is. Obviously, we're very bogged down right now with 50 states every 2 weeks. And with math, we've got our beta testers that we're creating new things for. We're also editing and revising our olds, the ones that have already launched to beta testers so that we can public launch them. So we have multiple different teams going at the same time. And again, we need people.
Last one we just did was what, Hawaii?
Yeah.
Oh, it looks so good. But all of them look good. They all look really good because I see them fresh off the press.
And measurement is coming, is our next one. And after that, you guys, after measurement is money, okay? And money is one that every single one of you should buy, because the younger levels is the first one and the only one so far. For our foundations level, we have a Canadian version and a US version, because we know that at a kindergarten level, it's really important they're learning about their own currency. After that, it's all, we don't have that anymore, okay? So it's only foundations that does that. But money from level 4 and up, level 4, we teach everything about opening your own bank account, all the steps of it. What is, a deposit? What is a withdrawal? And we encourage you to take a tour of a bank after that. So level 4 is super fun and interactive and very practical. Set your kids up with an online bank account, walk through the process. They're going to be learning all sorts of things. Level 5 and 6, they're going into budgeting. They're going into economics. Very practical. They're analyzing a family budget. I mean, these are real life skills. So even if you want to see that in one of our regular units, you can find it in money, which is coming out after measurement. So measurement comes, I think, next week. And then 5 weeks later will be money. So we're really close. We're really, really, really close. But yeah, we are launching almost every week. We have a new launch. So stay looking in our newsletter. We'll keep updating you guys there and letting you know what we have. And otherwise, any other questions, feel free as always to email in at support@GatherRound, and we will help you guys out there as much as we can. Was there anything else?
No, I'm just looking at some of the comments here.
Okay. Online classes, Amy, I did announce earlier on in this. So we'll see if we can come up with some time codes for you guys. And that way we could say, hey, watch the replay at this time, because I did announce the online classes. I'm thinking, I'm not like 100%. I'm open to change, but I did already talk about some of those. Okay. All right. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day. Thank you for taking time out of your day to join us and for your own lives and your own homeschools and your own businesses and whatever you're involved in. We just pray that you would have vision, that you would have inspiration, fresh inspiration from the Holy Spirit for your specific situations, for your lives, that God would just speak, that He would breathe life and hope and expectation and anticipation for all that He has for you and your family and your homeschools and your ministries and your businesses and your marriages and your friendships and all of the things, because this is January. It's a new year. It's going to be a good year, and God has good things planned. So blessings on each and every one of you, and stay tuned for more updates. See ya. Bye.